make up its definition. First of all, computer is an electronic device. All computing devices are electronic devices. Then second, it accepts data input. Data input. What is both aspects? It is an electronic device. Any computing device, it's an electronic device. So any computing device, it accepts data in, it processes that data into information, it stores or provides an output. You get it? That's a computer. So this one here, in this term, we can get a terminology as computer as an electronic device that is able to accept data input, process it into information, store and provide an output. So it is able to store and provide an output. You have a watch, but you need watch. It's an electronic device because it's able to accept data and then provide you with time. You can save, meaning you can receive information for each save time. You get it? Are you seeing this computer? You are seeing these phones. It's able to accept the number and then you dial. So all of those devices, you can see now I have pressed the password. So it is able. You get my point? Yes. So that is, give me some of the examples of computing devices.
Computing devices?
Yes.
Phones?
Yes.
Personal computers, PCs.
Phones, personal computers, watches, routers, all of those. All of these devices use calculators. All those devices you do use. So basically, functionalities of a computer, we say, yeah, takes data input, that's the first functionality. Stores data, processes,
then stores, then
generates an output, then controls all. Is also another aspect. So in a computer, another thing we find that they can ask you to give the main components of the computer system. Main components. Can you give some of the main components
of the computer system?
Of the computer system?
Hardware.
Yes.
We have the CPU. Hardware and the software.
You also have user and data. To make a computer system, a complete computer system, a computer can't handle its own. Computer needs someone to operate it.
The user.
That's the you. This is the person that is using a computer.
But when I can use your computer.
So when you have data, when you have hardware, software, data, then you complete the computer system. Then we also have data. These are raw facts feed into a computer system. Raw facts, things you feed into a computer. But in this case, we have two main components. We have hardware and software. These are additionals, but they are also important. You get my point? These are additional, but they are also important. But basically, we have these two main components. Hardware and software. Those two are main components.
Main components of a computer.
They are main components. Yeah, but here they ask more than that, then you add on the user and data. Then, in addition to that, we have hardware. Hardware, these are the physical components.
Yeah.
Physical. Software, those are the programs. You get it? Hardware, they are the physical The one you can touch by your and you feel them. You get it? But software, those are the programs. You get it? So let's talk about hardware components. Hardware components.
Keyboard, CPU, monitor, mouse, speakers, most especially power supply, keyboard, HDMI.
So since there are the tangibles, then we will say we have system unit, we have keyboards, we have mouse, screens, monitors. Monitor and the screen are different. Monitor and screen are different.
Monitor.
Because in the screens even you have what we call touch screens. You get it?
Yeah.
Chips, graphics cards, and so many.
Yeah.
And so many others. So other hardware, we find that this hardware is divided into components. Can you give me some of the components of hardware? Can you differentiate between hardware and peripheral devices? Can you differentiate between these two?
Hardware, they are the physical, like the what I got from out. Then the peripherals, the computer components, are the hardware that are inside.
Peripheral devices, these are devices that are connected to a computer through ports. Like keyboards, mouse. The one that we connect through. Remember when you open a computer, there is also other hardware devices inside. The motherboard, chips, RAM, and whatever. Rails. But those are not peripheral devices. The peripheral ones are those that we just attach to the computer through ports. You get my point?
Then hardware,
They are any physical components of the computer. Even if it's peripheral, even if it's internal, those are hardware. Any physical component of the computer. We find was hardware. Then the peripheral, those are the ones that we just connect to the computer. So my question was, can you give components of hardware?
Yeah.
We
have input,
output,
storage, and process.
Yes. We have processing devices. Give some of the examples of processing devices.
CPU.
CPU. So under these processing devices, we have only one example, and that is the processor. That is the processor. Then the storage devices. Well, then let's talk about input devices.
We have the mouse, keyboard.
So input devices are devices we use to
input data.
What is now input? Again input. These are devices that are used to feed the computer with data. The one we use to enter data into a computer. And these things avoid repetition of word, importing. Now there is no difference. You get my point? So examples, we have keyboard. Another one? Mouse. Touch screen. Scanners. Microphone. If we use it to enter sound into a computer. Webcam, we use it to enter our pictures or photos into a computer. Trackballs, joystick, electronic whiteboards, and so many others. Having had that,
yes.
Let's talk about let's talk about storage devices. Give me some of the examples of some of the definition.
Storage devices devices used to store.
To keep. Storage, store. I said they are going. They used to keep information. Why is it called information? Because data are raw facts. Then information is the processed data. So this one can always store the one which is processed. The one which is processed. So examples, under examples we have two categories. We have primary storage devices and secondary storage devices. Primary storage devices we have RAM and ROM. Is also referred to as a primary memory. When they ask you examples of primary memory, you give RAM and ROM. You understand my point? So what is RAM in the phone? It's random access memory. ROM is read-only memory. So RAM is a memory scheme within a computer system responsible for storing data on a temporary basis.
RAM.
Yes. It stores data on a temporary basis. So it can be promptly accessed by a process when it is needed. It is volatile in nature, which means data can be released once power is lost. You get my point?
Like RAM is the same.
RAM basically is if it was random access. It doesn't store permanent data. It stores the current instructions. But read-only memory is a permanent form of storage. So, ROM stays active regardless whether power supply is turned off or on. Whereby that there is no way data under ROM can be lost because power there is permanent. Power under ROM is, data under ROM is power. Examples of ROM, we have CDs, Blu-ray discs, hard drives. They are under storage devices, but under secondary storage devices. But these are primary storage devices.
How about the drives that are in the CPUs? What do you call them?
What?
Drives.
That is inside the CPU or system or case unit. Because you have the system case or case.
Case unit.
You have drives, those are the disks.
Yeah, they have disks.
They are the secondary storage.
Primary.
Primary, I said you have only two. You have RAM and ROM. Random access memory and video memory. Those are the only primary memories we have. Then store secondary storage devices. It's also called secondary memory. Stores data and programs permanently. It is retained after power is off. Whereby data under that secondary storage devices, even if power is off, data can be retained. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
Even if power is off, data can be retained. Then, examples you have hard drive, optical disk, even CD, flash disks. So give me more.
Drives,
Memory cards.
discs, there's also these. Are they RTF cards?
Okay, those devices you use. You get?
Yes, sir.
So let's compare about RAM and hard disk. Can you make some comparisons between RAM and hard disk?
RAM and hard disk. For RAM stores data for a little period of time. Whereas hard disks can store some data for
If power is on for 24 hours or for all the time, RAM can store that data. So don't say that it stores data for a short period of time.
What if I say if the computer is active?
Okay, RAM is a memory. Hard disk is a
Storage.
You get it. RAM is a memory.
Memory.
Hard disk is a store. Meaning, RAM we use it just for remembering in that time. Remembering. That's why I say it stores data for a short period of time. It stores data not for a short period, but it stores data temporarily. Whereby data can be lost twice. So we are talking about some issues. By tomorrow, I know you'll be having few of them.
Some issues.
What we are discussing now, meaning that you store it in a memory, not a storage device. You get?
My brain.
But your disk is your brain is a memory.
It's the memory.
Your brain is a memory, but
My memory.
okay. So RAM is smaller, has a smaller amount compared to hard disk. Meaning hard disk have large amount.
Large space.
Large amount of space. So RAM temporarily store files and
Programs.
programs. Whereby files and programs that are found on RAM. Is it RAM? Yeah, RAM. They are temporarily stored. Whereas those on hard disk, they are permanently
Stored.
stored. So RAM is a little like of your desktop. As only you currently work on it. Whereby when you are working with the RAM, that current data is the one that you find on it. That data you are using currently. But under hard disk, even you work and used it before, it will be kept. You get my point? Now under RAM you can also add that content disappear once power is low.
Yes.
But under hard disk, content can be retained even if power is low.
It's not
Lost. RAM consists of chips. Those are microprocessors. But hard disk contain routers. RAM contains microprocessors or consists chips.
They are going
Not chips, but chips.
Mm.
But hard disk contains routers. And this one contains chips. Yes. For RAM, it has chips. This one is having routers. Routers, they are also components under the hard disk. I will show you by face when that time comes. You are just going through introduction, taking you an overview because you never moved when you prepare that you are going to theory. You thought we are going to practicals, not so. So I want to take you an overview. So whereby tomorrow
What does that mean?
theory, but we go into details of each component. You get my point? When you want to use a program, a temporary copy is put in RAM. So that temporary copy is the copy you store. When you type in your work, you are able to type, but you have to save that work. So when you type, that copy is saved, is handled by RAM, like a stored in RAM.
Yeah.
If you don't save and power goes off, that copy will go. That's why we recommend when you are typing store, you look for the location and then store it in hard disk, which can be held in that information even if power is lost. But hard disk holds the original copy of the program. Basically, that's an overview. Let's talk about output devices. Output devices. When you talk about output devices, what comes into your mind?
Output devices used to output. No, they are devices that
Avoid output devices and out devices which output.
they are devices that
Sure.
open up that.
Okay, these are devices used to communicate the results of data. They used to communicate the result. Like they provide you with the results. Examples we have
Speakers,
they provide sound,
screens or monitors.
screens, monitors, printers, they provide the hard copy. Plotters, you know plotters. These are large format printers. Not the plotters, but plotters. This is A, this is O. These are large format printers. Large format printers. You know these banners.
Hey, the banners.
So we use those plotters to print those banners. We don't use these normal printers, but we use plotters. You have a projector. Have you ever seen a projector?
Yes.
Where?
From our school.
Yeah. So basically that is that. I'm talking about that. Then with time we shall go into
Application. Computer applications.
What do you mean? Shall go into each in detail. Printers, we know types of printers. You get those points here. Monitors, we go into types and the application areas. So basically that was an overview of hardware. At least when you are asked or when the question is asked about hardware, at least I hope you have an idea. Do you?
Yes, sir.
Do you?
Yeah.
So you have an idea.
You're refreshing.
I'm trying to refresh your memory so that you can come back on track. So let's talk about our software. What is software?
It's a collection of instructions, data.
It's a collection of what?
It's a collection of programs, data, and information stored in a computer.
Just say it's a program that helps a computer function.
Yes.
Yes. Going into data for instruction, what? Just say it's a collection of programs that enable the computer to operate. Under software, we have two categories of software. We have what we call system software and application.
System software and application software.
And application software.
System software
And application.
and it.
Can you differentiate between those two?
Application. System. The software that runs the computer.
These are programs that enable the computer
To run. To run activity to run that. Then
It
application.
makes the computer function. The computer can't function without those programs.
System software.
Though, because you have their registers, what. Because application software run under the interface of system software. So application software are used by users. Those you.
Like me
You.
Windows.
What is Windows? When you are using your application programs like Microsoft Word, that word is run under a system software. That's Microsoft Windows and operating system. So operating system is a system
software.
but in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, those are application software. Have you got the difference? System is responsible for controlling, integrating, and managing the individual hardware components of the computer system. They are responsible for controlling, integrating, and managing the hardware components of the computer system. So those hardware components are able to function because of what?
Yes. The computer application is able to run because of the system software.
Generally, system software consists of operating system and other functional utilities like disk formatters, file managers, display managers, text editors.
Virus detectors. Is it?
What?
Virus detectors.
Virus detect can be under
Application.
can be under, like a SIM adapter, can be under application, can be under system. On the other computer, we have what we call firewalls.
So the ones that can like keep the computer safe. Firewall.
Firewall is the control the usability. So application software is a software used to complete a particular task. If I want to type somewhere, there is a specific software that I have to use. I can't need to type a letter and then I use Excel. Then I become a joker.
You have to use the Microsoft Word.
Yes, I have to use like Microsoft Word or any other word processing program. Processing program. So examples of application software, you know the WhatsApp, Facebook, or application you are using on your phone. As you hear apps. One. Software, I say those are the ones that makes a contact function, like a gestures, fixed commanders, operating system.
Those are the type of examples.
Examples. So let me give you some comparison, maybe for you to understand very well. System software maybe enables a contact
to function.
It's where apps run from. Without a system software, application software can't run or can't function. Application software is also known as an app. Have you ever heard of the word app?
Apps.
The apps of it. So they are designed for a particular task. Those application software. They are designed on a particular. For example, we have Opera is a web browser. Microsoft Word is a word processor. MySQL is a database software. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet software. Microsoft PowerPoint is a presentation software. Adobe Photoshop is a graphics software. But in system software, we have Microsoft Windows, Linux, Unix, macOS, DOS, and so many. Can you talk about interaction?
What's interaction?
So, users like you don't interact directly with the system software, but you interact with the application software. Like when you are using a computer, basically, you don't use system software. Though you need it for the computer to function, you get it. But basically you use application software. So we find that system software can run independently without application software. But application software can't run independently without system software. You have any question concerning that?
What are firewalls?
Firewalls are the security measures that control the functionality of the computer. They are just security measures. Control the usage.
So are they also found in system software?
They are found in system software. They can design Windows and then they put that firewall there to block some unauthorized access, like viruses, worms. So it has some kind of similar functions, like you have some kind of similar functions, like those of antiviruses. You get my point?
Yes.
Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Ask.
Yeah. So in order for application software to run, you need system software. What if I have a different system software and a very different application? Can it run? Would it need a specific system?
Each software programs are designed for a particular system software. Like you can't get a software that is running in the Mac OS and you put it in Microsoft OS. It's different. The interface differs.
Okay. That's right.
That's all we have.